Welcome students. In the last class we have already discussed about the imaginary number and basic concepts. So today we will solve some questions on imaginary numbers. So first question is how to express the complex number in the form of a plus ib. So for example, I am taking 1 by 1 plus I. This is a complex number, you can see. So now whenever you have got this type of question in the fraction form, you have to multiply the numerator and denominator of the given number by its conjugate. That means the conjugate of complex number 1 plus I. Conjugate of complex number is nothing but the opposite number by signifying its sign. That is plus, that means it will be minus in case of conjugate. So that is 1 into 1 minus I by 1 plus I into 1 minus I. So now if you multiply this, then numerator will be 1 minus I and the denominator 1 plus I into 1 minus I can be treated in the form of a plus b into a minus b. So I have written here the formula directly, 1 square minus I square. So 1 minus I, 1 square means 1, I square means minus 1, that is 1 minus I by 2. If you divide it, we have got half minus I by 2. Here x equal to half and y equal to what? Minus half. This is real part and minus half is imaginary part. That means it can be expressed in the form of x plus iy. You can see. Similarly, by using the same process, I am taking another problem, that is 2 plus I by 2 minus root 3i. So again you have to multiply by its conjugate of the denominator. So if you multiply by its conjugate, that is 2 plus root 3i, because minus here, so that is 2 minus root 3i into 2 plus root 3i. Multiply the numerator first, that is 4 plus 2 root 3i plus 2i plus root 3i square divided by 4 minus root 3i whole square. So 4 root 3 I square means minus 1, so it will be minus root 3. So 4 minus root 3, and now we have to take common I between this, that is 2 plus 2 root 3 divided by 4 root 3 I square means what? Root 3 square 3 I square minus 1. So minus 3, it will be plus 3. So you have got 4 minus root 3 by 7 plus I into 2 plus root 3 by 7. So this part is real part and this part will be considered as imaginary part. So by using this rule, you can solve this type of question in the form of a plus ib of a complex number. Now let us discuss about Argand plane. Argand plane is such a plane where we can plot complex number from the geometrical aspect. Suppose I am taking one complex number z equal to x plus iy. It may be another complex number x minus iy. Again I am taking another, suppose it is z1, z2, z3 minus x minus iy, and z4 I am taking minus x plus iy. These are 4 different complex number. Now how can we plot on the plane? So for that I have drawn here 2 axes. This is origin, this is x axis, and this is y axis. Here x axis is what? Real axis, and y axis is imaginary axis. Imaginary axis. So now to plot x plus iy, as we have plotted in the, this is called first quadrant, this is second, this is third, this is fourth. First quadrant means plus, second quadrant means minus plus, third means both negative, and fourth means first negative, first positive, second negative. So now if you want to plot this, then we can do like this. X plus iy, it can be expressed x comma y in ordered pair here because both positive. To express x minus iy, it has to be plotted here x comma minus y. If you want to express minus x plus iy, it will be expressed like this, minus x comma y, and here both negative. So this is the representation. Here this particular point will represent the first complex number, this particular point will represent the second complex number, this particular point will be represent the third, and this is 4. So to elaborate more, another thing that is important thing is modulus. So by using the same concept, that is the concept of Argand plane, by using the concept I am going to explain you the modulus of complex number. Again here I am constructed one more Argand plane. This is x, this is y. So now suppose I have plotted here a complex number x plus iy, that is z. The point means what is nothing but xy, the same complex number. As we know, this is origin, that coordinate means 0 0. If we join this line, say this point is P, if we join this line, then this line will give us the modulus of the complex number. So actually what does it mean? This line is nothing but a distance between origin and the particular point. So in coordinate geometry we know the distance, that is OP. OP means is what actually? X minus 0 square plus y minus 0 square. Distance between this origin and the particular point Px comma y is equal to root over x square plus y square. This is the modulus of complex number z equal to x plus iy, and the modulus of complex number can be denoted by mod z. As distance cannot be negative, so the modulus of complex number will not be negative, positive always. So for example, I am taking easy example, z equal to 1 plus I. So mod z means what? The real part of complex number, that is x, and the imaginary part of complex number, that is y. Here x equal to 1 as well as y equals to 1 if you see the complex number. Then modulus will be what? 1 square plus 1 square, that is root 2. It will be the modulus of complex number. This is the process. Okay, another complex number again I am taking. Suppose z equal to 1 minus I. Here x equal to 1 and y equal to minus 1. So the mod z will be root over 1 square plus of minus 1 square, that means root 2 again. Okay, so from here we can say the modulus of the same type of complex number will remain same. That means 1i, 1 minus 1. Instead of 1 here you have got minus 1, then we will get same root 2. Okay, so modulus part is over. Now by using modulus, again you are going to start another important topic, that is argument. So let us come the same diagram. So what is argument? Argument is nothing but an angle with the modulus with the positive direction of x-axis. That means I want to mean this angle. Angle always positive in anti-clockwise direction, so that's why you have taken here anti-clockwise direction. Suppose we denote it as x, theta. This theta is called argument of complex number, particular complex number. And if you join this, then what is this? This is x actually according to this point, and this part is y actually. Okay, and this is theta, that is argument of complex number. So now from the same picture we'll have some cases. The first case from this diagram, that means that is we can write from the triangle. Suppose this is P, this is O, this is R. So now from triangle POR we have sine theta equal to y by this portion I am taking here as R. This is y by r. R means modulus as well as radius vector, and cos theta equal to x by r. Okay, so from here we can say y equal to r sin theta and x equal to r cos theta. This y equal to r sin theta and x equal to r cos theta. Now suppose we'll have theta is what? Theta is argument. Now suppose we'll have this complex number z equal to x plus iy. Now what can you say from here? You can say from here, if you put the value in place of x, that is r cos theta, and if you place the value in case of y, that is r sin theta, it can be written r cos theta plus I into r sin theta. Now from here we can take common r. So after taking common r, we'll have r into cos theta plus I sin theta. This particular form this particular form is known as polar form of complex number. This particular form will be known as polar form of complex number, that is this part. That means the polar form of complex number is r into cos theta plus I sin theta. In short notation we can express it as, in first bracket, r comma theta. What is r? R is your modulus, in short mod. And what is theta? In short we can say argument, arj. We have already know about the process how to get the modulus, but we don't know how to get the argument, or in other word we can say amplitude. So now we'll learn about this. So if you see here, argument can be classified in two parts. Argument, you know, that is theta, and the range of theta will lie between 0 to 2 pi. This portion is general argument. That means these values of theta will be considered as general argument. 2 pi means, in radian format you have written here, 2 pi means what? Pi means 180, so that is 360. So the value of the argument of the complex number lies between, as general, 0 to 2 pi. But another important point is here, that is another range, that is minus pi to pi. This range is called the principal argument. I have written in short here PA. This range is called here principal argument of the complex number. So now how to determine the value of theta, that we'll learn about now. That is, I'm going to explain you. Here you can see I've already got the value of cos theta and sin theta. Now this, if you divide cos and sin, you will get here tan theta. Tan theta equal to y by x. Y means what? Imaginary part, and x means what? Nothing but real part. So by using this process you can get argument. To understand better, I have done one sums. Here you can see how to solve argument. Here I have taken one complex number, that is z equal to 1 plus I. This is 1, this is I, and real part is x equal to 1, and imaginary part here y equals to 1. So now tan theta I have already explained, that is y by x, that is imaginary part divided by real part, so 1. So here we have got theta equal to 45 degree. This is our required argument of this complex number 1 plus I. Now some cases regarding argument, depending on the particular complex number, on different quadrants, like this. You can see here P is a complex number which lies in the first quadrant. How to determine? When the coordinate of P is look like x and y, we will get theta by using the same formula, tan theta equal to y by x. Similarly, in case of second quadrant, that means when the complex number is like this, here theta means this angle. This theta represent principal argument. Why principal argument? Because the value of theta will be here pi minus alpha. First of all, we have to determine the value of alpha. How to determine it? By using this triangle we can get tan alpha, and then we are going to get the value of theta by subtraction from pi, because this is represent the principal value of the argument, and this whole angle we know 180, this angle we know this is alpha, so this remaining portion that we want to get as principal argument, that is pi minus alpha. Okay, why pi minus alpha? Because the principal argument range has to be lie between minus pi to pi range. In case of third quadrant, when both less than 0, then our diagram will be look like this. This is alpha, and this angle we can get it very easily by using tan theta formula, but the principal argument we have to count not this direction. This is general argument. Principal argument will count from this direction. Okay, this direction means pi minus alpha will be here also, but the sign will be minus, because anti-clockwise angle is positive. That means in this direction, but here I have changed the direction of angle, that is clockwise. That's why you have to put here minus sign. Next is in fourth quadrant. In fourth quadrant, this is alpha, and if you remember this, in the first quadrant where alpha is this, but in the first quadrant direction is anti-clockwise, that's why alpha is positive. But in this case, this is again anti-clockwise, so the value of the alpha will not be positive, it will be negative. That means that you have to do only. Okay, so this is the procedure of getting argument. Now we'll do some problems. Here I have taken some problems. Argument of 1 plus I root 3. If you see here, this is 1, this is I root 3. That means here x equal to 1, y equals to root 3. So the tan theta value will be what? Y by x, imaginary part by real part, that is root 3. So the theta will be what? 60 degrees. 60 degree means what actually? Pi by 3. So this will be the argument. Why? Because this particular complex number lies in the first quadrant as px comma y, and this angle is here theta. So that's why you have got it. Now for the second case, okay, polar representation. Polar representation also I am explained by using the same. As you know, we have already learned just before that every complex number can be expressed in the polar form, that is r into cos theta plus I sin theta format. So what is r? Nothing but the modulus. You can get easily the modulus from here. What is modulus? That is 1 square plus root 3 square, that means 2. 2 will be the modulus of this complex number. So in place of r you have to put 2. Theta means what? Theta means here 60 degree argument. So that is cos 60 degree plus I sin 60 degree. This is the representation, polar representation of this complex number. In short term we have written over there r comma theta. So in short term you can denote 2 comma pi by 3. Similarly, for the next case, a little bit different. 1 minus I root 3. 1 minus I root 3 means it will be lies in the fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant means we have to take the angle like this with the positive direction of x-axis. Again I am telling you, argument is the modulus angle with the positive direction of x-axis. So that means this. But here you have to take it in clockwise direction. So whatever the angles will get, you have to take minus of it. So again, for this triangle, if you want to find out, we'll get again y by x, and always it is mod. Mod means if you put here 1 minus I root 3, that means y equal to minus root 3, x equal to 1. But here even you are going to put that we will get it minus root 3, but mod. Mod means if you get minus, it will be converted to plus. So that is root 3. So here you have got also theta equal to 60 degree, but according to the rule, the value of this quadrant, I mean the argument, whatever we'll get, you have to take it as of its minus. That means this is minus 60 degree. So minus pi by 3, this is our required argument. To get the polar form, we have to do the same thing. Again you have to do like this, find out the argument, I mean modulus, then put in the formula of r cos theta plus I sin theta. Theta you have already get it. Similarly, here minus 1 minus I root 3. That means which quadrant? You can see in the third quadrant. Third quadrant means the value of argument is minus of pi minus theta. I am not going to explain you the theta once again because I have already written in the previous problems. Here again we are going to get theta equal to pi by 3. So the changes will be made like this: minus of pi by 3, that is minus 2 pi by 3. It will be the argument, not only argument, whatever the argument you have written, those arguments are principal argument. Okay, in your question will get what is principal argument, then you have to subtract or you have to follow this rule. If general argument, then we can get multiple values of 2 pi, because we have already told the value of general argument lies between 0 to 2 pi. Again, for the last case, minus I plus I root 3, again we will get theta equals to here pi by 3, but it will lie in the second quadrant. Second quadrant rule is what? Alpha equal to pi minus theta, that is pi minus pi by 3. So here we have got 2 pi by 3. This is the principal argument of this complex number. So you can see whatever the problems we have solved here regarding argument, regarding polar format, regarding modulus, this same type of problems will get in your book. Okay, so if you like this video, please share and subscribe.